deep cherry red crystal. And I painted my 55 Dodge that color. There are some colors I like better, but this one is easy to put on, and I know what it looks like because I've already used it on one vehicle. It's actually a paint off of a Charger. So you go around parking lots, notice on the road what you like for colors, and there we have deep cherry red. Don't make a mess here now. Looks like it's bleeding on the floor. Now the great thing about the base coat is the pot life is unlimited. So basically we are going to mix the paint and the reducer, MR295, a medium reducer, 1-to-1. You can use a hardener, we're not going to do that. Gun pressure, 29 to 40 psi at the gun. So I've got my air system all set up. I got a dryer installed and a little regulator. Looks like a pretty cheap regulator, but hopefully it'll be good. The trick is that when you push the trigger on the gun to go back and forth, when you let go, when you pause it, that it doesn't build pressure and come out at a higher pressure or a lower pressure than what it does if you're just shooting. So we'll try that. Hopefully it'll work. If not, I'll have to get a better regulator. I don't have a regulator on my paint can because I had one and I broke it. One of the most fun things of all is pouring paint out of a can, especially when the can's full. Got my measuring cup here. How much am I going to mix? Okay, how much is this going to take? Maybe a liter. It's going to be 2 coats at least, maybe 3. Can always mix more. Of course, it does have a forever pot life, so if I mix too much, I can just keep it in another can and use it tomorrow. So we're going to paint the body, and then after that we've got the 2 front fenders mounted on stands, and we're going to have to mount the doors on stands, and the trunk, the hood, those things will just be on some kind of a table or something. And then we've got all the garnish moldings, the dashboard, the splash pans, and a whole pile of odds and ends, glove box door, stuff like that, that we are going to probably just paint them on a table. I may hang some stuff, I don't know, we'll see. It's going to be quite deep, quite a deep color. Looks nice once you get the clear coat on though, tell you what. Honestly, I should have started by painting maybe the trunk or something like that first. I started with the body, the hardest part of all, of course. And so after painting it, I discovered I've got light spots, 2 like light strips here and 1 at the front. And what a puzzle figuring out, like, what on earth would do that? It's the same paint, you mix it like crazy. And I'm thinking, well, is it because of the angle I'm spraying it at? Because the other one at the front there, I was reaching a long ways over. No, I discovered later on that it's actually letting the paint sit in the gun between coats. Okay, so you got 10 or 15 minutes or whatever between coats, and you just hang the gun up because the base paint has an indefinite pot life, so you don't have to worry about using it in a hurry. So anyway, you leave it in the gun. You go ahead and start spraying, and something happens with the pigment. It floats to the top, or something or other happens in there. So then the first few squirts you get out of the gun after sitting still for a while comes out lighter than the rest of it. So once I figured that out, well, 2 things. I guess pour the paint back in the pot, in the mixing pot, when you're waiting between coats. But the other thing is spray, just the wall or something, the first few squirts, so that you don't have that light stuff coming out. I mean, it's tough enough making it even. I think if you forgot to mix this paint or stir it once really good, yeah, you'd have more than 1 color on this car. So the verdict is, I'm going to paint the roof of the car again. I don't think I'll paint the back fenders again. They'll probably be fine. But I'm going to grind this down to 600 grit or something like that and respray the base coat, and then probably only need 1 coat or 2 coats. But even though right away I decided I'm going to have to repaint this roof, I left it until I had everything else done so that I make sure that I have enough paint. And I've still got, I don't know, 1/4 of a can left or whatever. It'll be plenty to do this roof. Then I'll still have a little more for touch-up. And you know what? Somewhere in my shop or in my basement or in the backyard or someplace, there's probably some parts that need to be painted red that I've overlooked. I've only done 100 parts so far. But there's always some little trinkets, right? Anyway, let's get going. Repaint this thing. I just refuse to do a bad job.